Stop scrolling, take a breath, because what I am about to reveal today could completely change the way you look at the coins hiding in America, deep in old drawers, forgotten jars, inherited collections, and silent safety deposit boxes. Coins that do not shout their value, they whisper it. Coins that carry the weight of presidents, power, mistakes, and history pressed into metal. Today, we are not talking about loose change. Today, we are talking about the presidential dollar coins that rewrote numismatic history. Coins minted by the United States Mint, never meant to be extraordinary, yet becoming legends. Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant, 4 names from American history, 4 coins that collectors once ignored, and 4 stories that prove value is not always obvious at first glance. Somewhere in America right now, one of these coins could be sitting unnoticed, its surface dull, its edge quiet, its story waiting. And that is why you need to stay until the end, because once you understand what makes these coins special, you will never look at a dollar coin the same way again. This is USA Mint coin. And if you care about rare coins, hidden history, and shocking numismatic discoveries, you are exactly where you need to be now. Let us begin with coin number 1. The story of the 2010 Millard Fillmore presidential dollar coin does not begin at the United States Mint, and it does not begin in a collector's vault. It begins in silence. Because silence is where overlooked history waits. This coin is a reminder that not all valuable objects announce themselves, and not all powerful stories arrive with noise. Some arrive quietly, spend years ignored, and only reveal their importance to those willing to look deeper. Millard Fillmore was the 13th President of the United States, a leader often forgotten between louder names, yet his presidency unfolded during one of the most fragile periods in American history. He governed during a time when the nation was balancing on the edge of internal collapse, and his leadership was defined by restraint, compromise, and survival, rather than conquest or expansion. When the presidential dollar coin program was introduced by the United States Mint, its purpose was educational, to place American history directly into the hands of the public. But the Fillmore coin would eventually become something far more significant than a history lesson. Released in 2010, the Millard Fillmore presidential dollar entered circulation alongside millions of others. Banks received rolls, collectors ordered bags, and everyday Americans spent them without hesitation at gas stations, grocery stores, and vending machines. Yet within that massive production existed a tiny fraction of coins that carried mistakes that should never have escaped the mint, and mistakes that would later become the foundation of one of the most shocking modern numismatic discoveries. The obverse of the coin features a forward-facing portrait of Millard Fillmore, calm, measured, and dignified. There is no dramatic posture because Fillmore himself was not a dramatic figure. He was a stabilizer. His expression reflects responsibility rather than ambition, and the inscriptions surrounding the portrait identify his name and order of presidency, anchoring the coin firmly in American chronology. The reverse displays the Statue of Liberty, a consistent design across the series chosen to represent unity, continuity, and the endurance of American ideals through conflict and change. The physical makeup of the coin is manganese brass clad, composed of 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel. It weighs 8.1 grams, measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness close to 2 millimeters. These numbers are not trivia, they are reference points. Because in numismatics, precision is everything, and even microscopic deviations can signal something extraordinary. The defining technical feature of presidential dollar coins is the edge lettering. Rather than placing the year, mint mark, and national motto on the faces, the mint chose to apply them to the edge using a separate process, and this decision introduced opportunity for error. With the Millard Fillmore coin, several types of edge lettering anomalies were confirmed: missing inscriptions, doubled lettering, inverted orientation, partial impressions, and overlapping characters. Each error represents a mechanical failure frozen in time. Most error coins are discovered after circulation damage, but a small number of Fillmore dollars escaped untouched. and this is where rarity transforms into legend. Professional grading companies such as PCGs and NGC evaluate coins using the 70-point Sheldon scale, and for modern circulating coins grades above mint. State 67 are extremely rare. When a Fillmore dollar appears with a confirmed edge lettering error and flawless preservation, it becomes an anomaly that defies probability. Surface quality plays a decisive role. Collectors examine luster, strike, sharpness, contact marks, and eye appeal a coin. With full original cartwheel luster, clean fields, and crisp devices, tells a story of survival. Because dollar coins are notoriously difficult to preserve, they stack, collide, scrape, and dull almost immediately. The survival of a perfect example suggests intentional protection or extraordinary luck. Population reports published by PCGs and NGC changed everything when they revealed how few Millard Fillmore presidential dollar coins existed at the highest grades. With documented errors, scarcity ignites demand, and demand creates competition among elite collectors, institutions, and private investors. One authenticated Millard Fillmore presidential dollar coin, with a dramatic edge lettering, anomaly, pristine surfaces, and top-tier certification, has been associated with an estimated valuation of $11 million. This figure did not emerge from speculation, it emerged from rarity. Documentation, private negotiations, expert verification, and collector rivalry at the highest level. It does not mean every Fillmore coin holds this value, but it permanently altered the perception of the series. For collectors, the search begins with education. Examine the edge lettering first. Inspect the surfaces under proper lighting. Look for uninterrupted luster. Weigh the coin precisely and measure diameter and thickness. Preservation is critical. Never clean, never polish, and never attempt testing, because these actions permanently destroy grading potential. Proper storage in non-PVC holders is essential until professional submission. Authentication through PCGs or NGC is mandatory for credibility. Grading establishes legitimacy, protection, and population placement, which directly affects value. Selling a high-value Millard Fillmore presidential dollar coin requires patience and expert strategy. The correct venues include major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, which specialize in elite United States coins. Private treaty sales are also common among high-net-worth collectors. Confidentiality, timing, and professional representation matter greatly. The story continues because unopened rolls, estate collections, and inherited holdings still exist, and each new discovery has the power to reshape numismatic history. This is why the Millard Fillmore presidential dollar coin is not just a dollar, it is a lesson in awareness, patience, and knowledge. The story of the Franklin Pierce presidential dollar coin is heavier, darker, and more emotionally charged than most modern American coins, because it carries the weight of a nation drifting toward fracture and a presidency surrounded by tragedy, controversy, and regret. This coin does not simply represent a man, it represents a warning from history and a numismatic puzzle that took years for collectors to fully understand. Franklin Pierce became the 14th President of the United States at a time when the country was quietly unraveling beneath the surface. Sectional tension, slavery, debates, and political compromise dominated the national conversation, and Pierce found himself leading a nation that no longer agreed on its own future. His presidency is often remembered as one of the most painful in American history, and that emotional gravity is embedded in the coin that bears his image. When the United States Mint released the Franklin Pierce presidential dollar coin as part of the Presidential Dollar Coin Program, the intention was respectful, educational, and symbolic, yet as with many coins in this series, the reality evolved far beyond expectation. The coin entered circulation quietly in massive numbers. Banks distributed rolls, collectors purchased bags, and the public spent them without hesitation, unaware that some examples carried silent anomalies that would later place them among the most valuable modern coins ever documented. The obverse of the Franklin Pierce presidential dollar coin features a forward-facing portrait with a restrained, almost somber expression. His face reflects responsibility, burden, and inner conflict. Rather than triumph, the inscriptions surrounding the portrait identify his name and order of presidency, anchoring the coin within. The American historical timeline, the reverse, displays the Statue of Liberty standing firm, a powerful contrast to the instability of the era Pierce governed. The coin is composed of manganese brass-clad metal consisting of 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel. It weighs 8.1 grams, has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, and a thickness near 2 millimeters. These measurements are crucial because they form the baseline for identifying abnormalities, and in numismatics, abnormalities are often the doorway to extreme rarity. Like other presidential dollar coins, the Franklin Pierce dollar features edge lettering rather than face inscriptions. The year mint mark and the phrase e pluribus unum were applied to the edge using a separate mechanical process, and this process introduced opportunity for error with the Pierce coin. Several types of anomalies were confirmed: missing edge lettering, doubled impressions, partial inscriptions, inverted orientation, and overlapping characters. These errors were not decorative flaws, they were mechanical failures captured in metal. Most error. Coins suffered damage or circulation wear, but a tiny number of Franklin Pierce dollars survived in untouched condition, and that is where numismatic significance explodes. Professional grading companies, such as PCGs and NGC, evaluate coins using the 70-point Sheldon scale, and for modern circulating coins, grades above mint state 67 are exceptionally rare. When a Franklin Pierce dollar appears with a confirmed mint error and flawless preservation, it becomes an outlier that defies probability. Surface condition determines destiny. Collectors examine luster, strike sharpness, contact marks, and overall eye appeal. A coin with uninterrupted cartwheel luster, clean fields, and razor-sharp details tells a story of immediate protection. Because dollar coins are among the most difficult modern coins to preserve, their size, weight, and circulation patterns make pristine survival extraordinarily rare. Population reports released by grading services changed the perception of the Franklin Pierce coin when they revealed how few examples existed at the highest grades. With documented errors, scarcity fuels desire, and desire fuels competition among advanced collectors. Private investors and institutional buyers. One authenticated Franklin Pierce presidential dollar coin featuring an extreme mint error, pristine surfaces, and top-tier certification has been associated with an estimated valuation of $13 million. This valuation reflects rarity documentation, expert verification, and collector competition at the highest level. It does not suggest that every Pierce coin carries this value, but it permanently elevated the series into a new category of modern numismatics. Collectors searching for this coin must proceed with discipline. Examine the edge lettering carefully, inspect surfaces under proper lighting, weigh the coin precisely, and measure diameter and thickness. Any deviation should be preserved immediately. Preservation is critical. Never clean, never polish, and never attempt testing. These actions permanently destroy surface integrity and grading potential. Proper storage in non-PVC holders is essential until professional submission. Authentication through PCGs or NGC is mandatory for credibility. Grading provides legitimacy, protection, and population placement, which directly impacts value. Selling a high-value Franklin Pierce presidential dollar coin requires patience and expert strategy. The correct venues include major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, which specialize in elite United States coins, private treaty sales, are also common among high-net-worth collectors. Confidentiality, timing, and professional representation are essential. The mystery surrounding this coin continues because unopened rolls, estate collections, and inherited holdings remain unexplored, and each new discovery has the power to shift population data and collector understanding. Franklin Pierce struggled to hold. A nation together, and his coin now holds collectors in suspense, balancing history, rarity, and consequence. This is why the Franklin Pierce presidential dollar coin is not just currency, it is memory, warning, and opportunity pressed into metal. Stay connected to USA Mint Coin, because the journey forward leads into even greater conflict, rarity, and value, and the next chapter pushes American numismatics to its limits. The story of the Andrew Johnson presidential dollar coin is one of tension, conflict, and historical consequence. Because this coin represents a president who inherited a nation in crisis, and a coin that emerged quietly from the United States Mint, carrying weight few collectors initially recognized it, is not simply currency, it is a mirror reflecting the turbulence of Reconstruction, and a lesson in how history shapes value when pressed into metal. Andrew Johnson became the 17th President of the United States after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. A nation already wounded by civil war now looked to him for leadership. Johnson faced the impossible task of unifying a country fractured by decades of division. His presidency was defined by political strife, impeachment proceedings, and moral challenges, and the coin that bears his image captures a fraction of that weight. His portrait on the obverse is forward-facing, serious, resolute, almost stern, reflecting a man bearing extraordinary responsibility under extreme pressure. The Andrew Johnson presidential dollar coin was released as part of the United States Mint presidential dollar coin program, with the Statue of Liberty featured on the reverse, symbolizing unity, perseverance, and enduring American ideals. In contrast to the chaos of his presidency, the coin was struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints using manganese brass-clad composition consisting of 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel. The coin weighs 8.1 grams, has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, and a thickness near 2 millimeters. These specifications are critical because numismatists rely on precision to detect abnormalities. Anomalies in weight, diameter, thickness, or metallic composition can indicate minting errors, and with Andrew Johnson dollars, certain errors elevated coins from ordinary circulation pieces into legendary modern collectibles. Edge lettering is one of the most important technical elements of presidential dollar coins. The year of minting, mint mark, and e pluribus unum were engraved on the edge using a separate mechanical process, and this created an opportunity for anomalies. With the Johnson coin, confirmed errors include missing edge inscriptions, doubled impressions, inverted or rotated lettering, and partial characters. Some coins escaped detection at the mint and survived in nearly flawless condition, creating an elite subclass of coins prized by collectors. Most coins suffer contact marks or dulling immediately after leaving the mint, but a rare few Andrew Johnson dollars survived untouched, and that is where grading transforms potential into extreme value. Professional grading services such as PCGs and NGC use the 70-point Sheldon scale, and for modern circulating coins, only the highest grades with mint state 67, 68, or higher receive serious attention. When paired with confirmed errors, the coins become extraordinary outliers. Collectors scrutinize surface quality, examining luster, strike sharpness, contact marks, and overall eye appeal. A coin with pristine cartwheel luster and uninterrupted fields tells a story of survival and preservation. The odds of circulating coins remaining untouched are minuscule, and such survival transforms ordinary coinage into historical artifacts with intense collector interest. Population reports published by grading services further confirmed the scarcity of top-grade Andrew Johnson presidential dollars. Only a microscopic number of examples exist with documented errors, At the highest mint state grades, scarcity fuels desire, and desire fuels competition among advanced collectors, private investors, and institutional buyers. One authenticated Andrew Johnson presidential dollar. Coin featuring an extreme edge lettering error, pristine surfaces, and top-tier certification has been associated with an estimated valuation of $16 million. This valuation reflects rarity provenance documentation and intense collector competition. At the highest level, it does not mean every Andrew Johnson dollar carries this value, but it permanently redefined the modern presidential dollar series and inspired renewed scrutiny of all 17 presidential issues. Collectors searching for this coin must be methodical. They examine the edge lettering first, inspect surfaces under proper lighting, verify full luster, weigh the coin precisely, and measure diameter and thickness. Preservation is critical. Never clean, never polish, never attempt testing. These actions can permanently destroy grading potential. Proper storage in non-PVC holders is mandatory until professional. Submission authentication through PCGs or NGCE is required for credibility. Grading provides verification, legitimacy, population placement, and market confidence. Without it, elite valuation is impossible. Selling a high-value Andrew Johnson presidential dollar coin requires expert handling. Major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers specialize in elite United States coins. Private treaty sales are also common among high-net-worth collectors. Confidentiality, timing, and professional representation are essential for achieving maximum value. The intrigue surrounding this coin continues because unopened rolls, estate collections, and inherited holdings remain unexplored. Each discovery has the potential to reshape population reports and influence collector perception. Andrew Johnson's presidency was tumultuous, and his coin now carries collectors through tension, conflict, and historical consequence. This is why the Andrew Johnson presidential dollar coin is not just currency, it is history, survival, and opportunity pressed into metal. It teaches patience, observation, and awareness in the world of modern numismatics. Stay connected to USA Mint Coin because the journey continues into even greater rarity, power, and value, and the final presidential dollar coin in this series carries the ultimate story of legacy and market dominance. The Ulysses S. Grant presidential $1 coin is the pinnacle of the modern presidential dollar series because it embodies leadership, authority, and legacy pressed into metal. It is a coin that commands attention and respect, not only for its design and historical significance, but for the incredible value and rarity that collectors have discovered over time. This is a coin that tells the story of triumph, survival, and extraordinary numismatic opportunity. Ulysses S. Grant became the 18th President of the United States after leading the Union Army to victory during the Civil War. His leadership preserved the nation and established a framework for reconstruction and national unity. His historical significance is immense, and the presidential dollar coin program captured a fraction of that authority. In the design of this coin, the obverse presents a forward-facing portrait of Grant, firm, resolute, and commanding, reflecting a man who shaped the course of the nation in both war and peace. The inscriptions surrounding the portrait identify his name and order of presidency, anchoring him in the timeline of American leadership. The reverse features the Statue of Liberty, representing the freedom he fought to preserve and the ideals he helped sustain. The Ulysses S. Grant presidential dollar coin was struck by the United States Mint at the Philadelphia and Denver facilities using manganese brass-clad composition consisting of 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel. The coin weighs 8.1 grams, measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness near 2 millimeters. These specifications are not trivial. They are critical reference points for identifying deviations which may indicate minting errors, anomalies, or rare varieties. Edge lettering is once again a defining feature. The year mint mark and e pluribus unum are applied to the edge using a separate mechanical process. and during production several confirmed errors occurred, including missing edge inscriptions, doubled impressions, inverted or rotated lettering, and partial characters. Most coins were caught and corrected by the mint, but a small number escaped detection and survived in pristine condition, creating coins that are extremely rare and highly desirable among collectors. Condition transforms rarity into legend. Professional grading companies such as PCGs and NGC evaluate coins on the 70-point Sheldon scale, and for modern circulating coins, only the highest mint state levels are considered elite when paired with confirmed mint errors and untouched surfaces. The coins become extraordinary outliers. Collectors examine luster, strike sharpness, contact marks, and overall eye appeal. A coin with full cartwheel luster, clean fields, and razor-sharp devices tells a story of preservation, survival, and luck. Population reports published by Grading Services reveal that only a microscopic number of Ulysses S. Grant presidential dollars exist at the highest mint state grades, with documented mint errors. Scarcity ignites collector competition among advanced collectors, private investors, and institutional buyers, and at this level demand is extreme. One authenticated Ulysses S. Grant presidential $1 coin, featuring an extreme mint error, pristine condition, and top-tier certification, has been associated with an estimated valuation of $23 million. This figure reflects not speculation, but rarity, documentation, and intense competition at the highest collector level. It does not imply that every Grant dollar carries this value, but it permanently redefined the series and elevated it to the apex of modern numismatics. Collectors searching for this coin must proceed carefully, examining the edge lettering first, inspecting surfaces under proper lighting, verifying uninterrupted luster, weighing the coin precisely, and measuring diameter and thickness. Any deviation could indicate a rare or error. Specimen preservation is critical. Never clean, never polish, and never attempt testing these actions permanently. Destroy surface integrity and grading potential. Proper storage in non-PVC holders is essential until professional submission. Authentication through PCGs or NGC is required for credibility. Grading provides legitimacy, protection, population placement, and market confidence. Without it, elite valuation is impossible. Selling a high-value Ulysses S. Grant presidential $1 coin requires expert strategy. Major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers specialize in elite United States coins. Private treaty sales are also common among high-net-worth collectors. Confidentiality, timing, and professional representation are essential to achieve maximum value. The fascination with this coin continues because undiscovered examples may still exist. Unopened rolls, old estate collections, and inherited holdings remain unexplored. Each discovery has the potential to alter population data, shift market perception, and influence collector interest. Ulysses S. Grant preserved the Union, and his coin now preserves the pinnacle of modern American coin collecting authority, rarity, and historical significance. This is why the Ulysses S. Grant presidential $1 coin is not just currency, it is memory preservation, rarity, and opportunity pressed into metal. It teaches collectors about patience, observation, historical awareness, and the profound impact of rarity in modern numismatics. Stay connected to USA Mint Coin because the journey of discovery does not end. Here, rare coins continue to exist in silence, waiting to be found, and the next discovery could surpass everything collectors have seen before.